Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast, The Best Possible Me, where we look at relationship dilemmas, try to open different viewpoints and perspectives in hope that if everyone does this, we all become the best possible me. Hi, my name is Cindy.
And my name is Ella.
Welcome to our episode number 4.
Yes, and today we are going to talk about a dilemma that can happen quite easily in any long-term relationship. The question is my ex-wife forcing a vegan diet on our 6-year-old daughter?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So I, 30-year-old male, have a daughter, Donna, with my ex-wife, who's also 30. We were only together for 3 years. I met my ex at 22 years old. We married when we were 24 and had Donna. Then at 25, we divorced. Near the end of our relationship, my ex became vegan, which hurt our already rocky marriage, as she immediately, all of a sudden, wanted me and our daughter, and even our 2 dogs, to become vegan. She found this amazing vegan dog food that we tried once, and the dogs had diarrhea for about 12 hours after trying it for the first time. Anyway, my daughter also hated vegan food, and my wife hated that I wouldn't force her to eat it. I myself also hated vegan food. My wife married Donna's stepdad, and this is where I think the problem started, as my wife didn't really force our daughter initially to be vegan until the stepdad came along. Our custody agreement is that Donna comes to me on the weekends and goes to her mom's during the week. For the past year, my ex-wife and her husband have had our daughter on a full vegan diet whenever she's over there, and tries to get me to enforce the diet as well, but I haven't. She's also been educating our daughter on the terribleness of meat and dairy products. The result is that my daughter, that I think, is not getting the proper nutrients, as she's always groggy, she's been less energetic, she's very irritable, and she seems to be very tired. That's enough of a concern. But she also cries every time she comes over and sees my dogs chase a squirrel, because it's hurting animals. She cries if the clothes I have here might be from wool, because that hurts sheep. She cries when she sees honey in my cabinet, because we took it by abusing bees. She cries if anything involving eggs or milk, because we're stealing from the cows and the chicken. She constantly talks about the poor cows and chickens that are hurt in farms. My daughter was never like this before. She's been so sad lately. Won't even color with goddamn crayons, because it's like hurting animals to get those. And it breaks my heart. I personally own 11 hens. Donna used to love helping me with the hens and collecting eggs, and she named all of them. But now she cries and begs me not to hurt the chickens, and tells me to stop stealing their babies. I don't use my chickens for meat, only eggs, and I don't have a rooster yet to fertilize the eggs. Yet my ex-wife seems to have had her convinced that I'm a horrible animal abuser, and my chickens are suffering every day. I take damn good care of my chickens. All this stuff didn't happen overnight. It's been gradual, but it's gotten really extreme lately. My daughter used to be such a happy girl and a healthy girl, but now I feel her health has gone down, and she seems so sad all the time. I didn't quite know what to do. And I still don't, because I decided to chat with my wife about it around about a week or 2 ago. When I showed up at her house on Friday to grab Donna and take her to my house, I asked to talk. The conversation went something like, I asked her about what she teaches Donna about veganism. And my ex-wife said she explains to Donna how bad it is to hurt animals. And that's all that she says. I asked her if she's telling Donna that I'm an animal abuser, and said basically, her answer basically was, if she comes to that natural conclusion based on the truth, well, that's on her. And then I asked if she has been monitoring our daughter's health, and she said it isn't my concern and the diet is healthy. It is totally my concern. And from there, I got really angry, and it turned into an argument where I said my wife, or ex-wife really, is abusing Donna by forcing the diet on her. My ex-wife did not like that, and he started screaming at me. And in that moment, and I'm not proud of that at all, I screamed back. Luckily, Donna was still inside of the house, getting ready to go. The argument stopped the moment she came outside, and I left. My wife is now involved my family, who I am in low contact with. Long history there. I dated a guy in my teens, and since then it hasn't been great. Anyway, now my family is telling me not to be so cruel to the mother of my child. I do not feel I was cruel. I feel I was honest. My daughter literally seems depressed. I am not proud of yelling at my ex-wife, but I also feel I was justified in my anger at her. I don't care what my wife does. I care how it affects Donna. I don't have many people to talk to, and I'm feeling a bit guilty after all of that. I shouldn't have screamed, and I have never really addressed this stuff in a proper way. So what should I do?
That's a very long story. Thank you for reading, Ayala. It's interesting, isn't it? Obviously, I guess before we start discussing, I'll have to make the statement that I'm personally not vegan.
Nor am I.
Yeah, I don't have any family members that are following a vegan diet. I do have friends who are on a vegan diet or a vegetarian diet or pescatarian diet. But I guess I would like to just make that really clear. I personally don't have a lot of personal experience about being on a vegan diet, nor from childhood, if that makes sense.
Yes, yeah. And I'm in the same situation, but I do think that we can put ourselves in a position of not necessarily about vegan. It could be about any kind of diet or any kind of belief system.
Yes, it's really your value, your beliefs.
Yes, it could be related to religion. It could be related to a lot of other things.
Yes,
So vegan here is a great example.
Yeah.
But it's actually looking at what is or isn't okay when your partner or ex-partner believes differently to you.
Right. From the beginning of the story, it does look like this is something that they disagreed on quite a lot towards the end of their relationship.
Yes.
And I guess I noticed another factor influenced on the whole situation is that the ex-wife right now is together with a person who looks like also follows very strict vegan diet.
Yeah. So that gives the wife much more strength and confidence
And
in
creates
pushing her. Yes.
Creates the environment as well.
Yeah. I think that the fact that the daughter initially didn't like vegan food is
That's interesting. The two dogs.
yes.
Dogs and
And
child,
and the fact that he chose to add that in his story just means how against he actually
From
is.
the get-go.
From the get-go.
Yes.
He thinks that it's stupid. He thinks that it's wrong. And so we have here a very strong belief of the wife. And we also have someone who clearly does not believe in the same thing, and almost it sounds like he's almost against it in a way. Yes. Saying that, he never really said in any way or form that he has a problem with the wife being vegan or having the daughter eat vegan food as long as the daughter is healthy.
Right. His focus very much looks like focus on the daughter's happiness, like being healthy and is she happy. But there are also things he wrote that I find quite concerning that the daughter is not happy anymore what he observed, doesn't want to color anymore because she's so concerned about where the crayons from, where the materials that to do her artwork is from.
Yep.
Is that a bit too much for a 6-year-old to be considering and thinking or putting mood down just for coloring?
Yes, and so I can actually see his point of view.
Of course.
From that point of view, and I also want to give a lot of credit to him that he's really trying to look at this from a very objective point of view of, is this good enough for my daughter? Is she healthy? Is she happy? And is her relationship with me, the dad, suffering from this kind of belief system that the mom has? And I think that all of these questions are very legitimate.
Yes, definitely. And I would also like to say, seeing him, what he wrote in the story, that he actually wanted to have a good conversation with the ex-wife about it. Obviously, that led to an argument, but where he's coming from, that's actually a good place.
Yes. Now, we don't have the wife's perspective of the story this time. However, we can actually look at it from her perspective in the sense of, I have a belief system. I believe in it very strongly. My partner, my new partner, believes in it very strongly.
Yes.
And because I am the mother of this child and I'm with her 5 days a week.
Right. Yeah, that's right. That's another factor.
Yep.
That daughter is with the mom and the mom's new partner 5 days out of 7 days in a week.
Yep. I want to make sure that my daughter actually understands my belief system. It could also be that the mom isn't necessarily pushing the agenda like he thinks she is, but rather the daughter, being 6, is probably curious and asking questions. And as she's asking questions, the mom is answering as per her belief system. So if we're looking at it from both of them are coming from a good place point of view,
okay, yep,
we can actually see that he has a problem because of the fact that he's raising hens, and the daughter's attitude towards the hens has changed, obviously.
Obviously, yes, yeah.
But it could be where he thought that the wife is saying bad things about him, that she actually never said bad things about him. She just talked about her belief system, and she didn't necessarily say good things about him either. So mom could have maybe said to her daughter, if the conclusion is that dad is being abusive to the chickens,
to the hens, yeah,
she could say, a lot of farmers are being very abusive, but I have to say that your dad is taking really good care of the chickens.
Yes.
And is letting them be free range, and because the eggs that they have are never fertilized because there is no rooster, then it's not really stealing their babies away because it's infertile eggs.
Yes.
So mom could have done maybe a bit more effort to not get the daughter to have bad conclusions about...
Yes, definitely. But that needs to come from the mother's side.
Yes.
Doesn't feel like mother has had that conversation with the daughter in that way.
Yes. So that's a very interesting point here. And really, I think that we need to open the conversation altogether to how do parents that have different views affect a child. So if mom has a certain belief system and dad has a different belief system, and again, this could be any belief system.
Could be religion, yes. Could be religion, could be different culture costumes, could be,
And it could be different religions, but it could also be that one is very religious, whereas the other one isn't very religious.
Yeah, could be one religious, one against religion.
Generally, yeah.
Kind of similar with what this one is. One is strictly vegan, the other one is in a way against vegan,
And we know that there are a lot of relationships and problems where one parent is trying to push their belief system on the child and not acknowledging maybe strongly enough the fact that different people have different beliefs.
Yes.
And it's lovely that we can celebrate everyone's belief.
Yeah.
And we're teaching you both dad's belief and my belief, and you can make up your own belief as you grow up.
Right. I guess, yeah, I agree. And I do see lots of couple doing it that way. Like lots of parents are dealing with the issues in the way that you just described, especially when it comes to religion and when it comes to cultural identity, because it is, in a way, not something affects they do in a daily basis. Lots of parents will say when we'll show them both of the views and what they believe, and maybe takes them to church or maybe not takes them to other groups of practice. And then when the child is 16 or 18, they can make a choice by themselves. When they are a little bit more developed as their brain, they have the ability to understand this is what they want to follow or not. But when it comes to vegan diet, it's a bit different because it does impact on the daughter's day-to-day life.
Yes.
It's what she eats from the moment she wakes up.
Yes. Religion, I think, again, if you're very religious, could also affect on a daily life. Because do you wake up with a prayer? Do you go to sleep with a prayer?
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
And it's interesting because obviously mom is getting a strong message, possibly from her partner, that this is our way of life and it's good to keep consistency for the child.
Right.
Which is right, but she's forgetting that her belief system is different to dad's, and expecting dad to follow along with the same belief system is a problem, because she's really not respecting his belief system that is very different to hers.
Right. Yes. It's tricky, isn't it?
It
For this girl, what do you think would be an ideal situation for this 6-year-old girl? 5 days with mom and stepdad who are very strict vegan, and 2 days with dad who doesn't really care about veganism or in a way against it.
Yes. I think that they really need to communicate, obviously, in a long conversation and not a 2-minute conversation until the daughter
lead
comes.
into argument. Yeah.
That leads to an argument, yes, about respecting each other's beliefs. And in order to be able to do that, they need to come from let's actually look at what's good for our daughter, not because of our personal belief system, but because we don't want to get her to feel anything negative, not to mom or to dad, and not to mom's belief systems or to dad's belief systems. And how are we actually managing supporting our daughter and the confusion of different beliefs while she's growing up and getting the benefit from both worlds? And for that, you need to put your ego and your own personal belief systems aside.
Yes.
And yeah. Because if mom actually understands that this is really impacting the daughter when the daughter is at her dad's, and maybe she wasn't aware of that.
Also, the cries all the time.
Yes. And it could be, that what he's seeing and thinking that it's because of nutrition is really because the daughter's really confused when she's at his, and she sees things that are against the belief system that she's hearing from mom.
Right. Okay.
So it could be that from the mom's perspective, she's not seeing the same behaviors that dad is seeing.
Right. Okay. I see your point here that the mom and stepdad's environment has created the normalcy for the daughter, but then when the daughter goes to dad's place on the weekend, it can be a bit upsetting and confusing for her because that's not the normalcy that she's used to for majority of the week.
Which means that mom needs to be very, very open-minded when having the conversation with her ex about him explaining how the daughter is behaving at his, to actually understand, is this a pattern that she's seeing as well, or is this actually only happening at dad's?
Right.
And then the mom needs to be open-minded that it's not because of dad's behavior.
Yeah.
So, automatically when we're talking about exes, a wife can say, well, that's how she's behaving because you don't know how to raise her well.
Right. It comes to the personal attack instead of let's talk about the diet. Let's talk about what's the best for the daughter. Yeah.
So actually seeing it not as because you don't know how to raise her, but rather, okay, so obviously there's a problem when she's at yours. Let's figure out together where it's coming from.
Right.
And let's see how both of us can tackle it so that the daughter won't feel bad when she's at dad's. And unfortunately, there are too many situations when we are in a X-type relationship.
Right, like separate households and raising child together. Yeah.
Yes, that we're looking at things too much from the who's better rather than...
Yeah, whose way is the right way. Yeah.
Yes, rather than... No, we still want to cooperate. We still want to respect each other and raise our child in a way that respects both parents equally. And this is not a competition.
No, it's not a competition. Yeah, that's right. But it's so hard not to get into that defensive mode when your ex-partner is raising a question that feels like a personal attack.
Yes.
Because part of the story, he did talk about when I asked the ex-wife about the daughter's house, she said the daughter's house is not your concern, so the daughter's house is not the father's concern. This would definitely trigger him because he thinks it's equivalently as important as a parent, and he can pay enough attention, and it's as important to him about the daughter's house as to the wife.
Yes. And the daughter's health is a concern for both of them.
To both of them,
Of course. So her belittling him in that sense is also triggering and making it into an argument rather than calming the whole thing down and, okay, let's sit together and actually work this out and find out.
Yes.
And I think that it's 100% fair that dad asks that the daughter has some examinations.
Yeah,
just
enough
to prove,
nutrition.
To prove that her bloods are good and that she doesn't have deficiency in anything.
Of course. Yeah. And there things can be arranged, like a blood workout, check some vitamins and different nutrition. So our daughter's weight, height, is everything up to where she should be at that age in terms of development.
Yep. And it's not because of lack of trust in the mom's way of raising her. Again, she might see it as a
personal attack. Yes.
But rather, you know what? Just to make sure that everything is fine and it's not because of other elements, let's check it. And, if she's so concerned, she can even say, you know what, I'll do the blood test just to prove to you that vegan diet is excellent.
There's nothing wrong with the way the daughter is eating at my place.
Yes. So in a way, by actually going along with his request, she can prove to him that his concerns are not legitimate and close the story because we're working on facts rather than on beliefs.
Yes. And there's also another strategy, because we both worked in counseling spaces, another strategy we constantly wanting to implement with our clients, that is respond instead of react.
Yes.
What happened there in their very short conversation leads to an instant argument is that they are reacting to each other, not saying who's right, who's wrong. Obviously, they're all coming from a place that they care about the daughters. They think they are really good parents. They don't want to be attacked. But at the same time, it was a reactive response from the ex-wife.
Yes, and in order to respond, you actually need to breathe, put your emotions aside, and try to think as rational as possible, and constantly refocus on, this is about the daughter.
Of course,
this isn't about if she's good or if she the
Am
partner.
I a good parent? Yeah.
Am I a good parent? Is she a good parent? But rather, what can we do together to make it best for the daughter?
Of course, you talk about health concerns, then what can we do to make sure that her health is in check?
Another point that I'd like to raise is the fact that just like you say that your wife explains about pain to animals, you can also take that and teach your daughter about the other side of things. So about the fact that sometimes taking care of an animal is actually taking pain off of them.
Right. Okay.
So yes, certain things that we do with animals obviously are for our own needs, for the meat industry. But for example, milking a cow that doesn't have a calf is relieving its pain because
yes, definitely.
So you can actually demonstrate certain things that you're doing, and if you have chickens, and I don't have chickens, so I can't
Yeah.
give a lot of examples here. But I'm sure that if you're doing the right thing, then you can actually show her that, and continue by naming the animals. We're actually giving them a personality, and we're treating them like pets, and we
Yes.
adore them, and we take good care of them, and we're giving them healthy food to eat. And so again, you, the dad, can also make this much more fun for the daughter, and show her the
Right.
other side of things as well.
Definitely. Yeah, and another thing just came to my mind reading his post. The daughter at the moment sounds like really frustrated about things that's happening relating to any animal. Even the father's dog chasing a squirrel to the daughter, she would cry. She would be like, "Oh, this is painful. This is not good for the squirrels." It gets her into really sad mode. Maybe there are strategies like you just mentioned that can put in place to support daughter in that situation. When a dog chasing a squirrel, that is a part of nature. That is how animals interact with each other. And the dog as a house pet is being looked after. And the dog also have a sense of territory. That's a part of their nature as well. That's why they do that. Does that make sense? Like there are
Yes.
things he can talk about it with the daughter. Obviously, he needs to put strategies in place and think about things to talk ahead of time. No one can come up with these things immediately, but that's also something that dad can have a think about.
Yes, excellent point. And you know what? Let's go back to the beginning of our conversation about being married to someone that has very different belief system to you, and having conversations with them. So let's take the ex part away.
Okay. Yes.
And they're
yes.
still together.
Right. She turned vegan in the middle
Yes.
yes. of their relationship when they were still together. Yeah.
Yes, for example. And how are we actually able to raise healthy, loving children, and showing them a healthy, loving relationship with differences? And I think that this is a wonderful teaching tool for any child.
Yes, it's demonstrating to them differences can live together with good strategies in place and with open, honest communications.
Yes. And we don't have to marry someone who's just like us.
Exactly
The
the
opposite.
same. Yeah, you can.
Sometimes the fact that we have different opinions is very healthy and makes it much more interesting and much more fun.
Yeah, in a way, it's enriching your life experience.
Yes. So again, it's all about conversations and trying to not take it to the emotional side, but rather
Respond instead of reacting. Yeah.
and making sure that we're having respect to other people's opinion, and not automatically thinking that only our opinion is the right one and only our way is the right way.
That takes time, right? That takes so much time to practice. But again, you can start at any time, any age, any stage of your life.
Beautiful.
Right.
So thank you very
Okay,
much.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for the discussion. That's the end of our episode 4. Thank you. See you next time.
Bye.
If you also have a relationship dilemma that you are struggling with and you would like us to bring it up here anonymously, you can email us on bestpossibleme.podcast@gmail.com. You can also find the email address in our podcast bio. Don't forget to like and follow our podcast so you get the notification of each new episode. See you next week.